Hi, this video is sponsored by CuriosityStream, the source of some of the best documentaries in the world. Really? A sellout right at the beginning? What? We like science and knowledge documentaries, don't we? Yeah, at least put a proper share on. People will think we are crazy. Fine. You realize we are the same person, don't you? I like to show you how to make a particle detector, so in case of a nuclear disaster, you can see with your own eyes the amount of radiation you are receiving before your body melts. Nah, just joking. This device is a fun project to help you observe the radiations and particles we are bombarded with every day from the universe. In case of a nuclear disaster, your body melting would be a good enough indicator. This device is called the cloud chamber, originally designed by Charles Wilson. Basically, it's a glass container with a super cold surface on the bottom that contains alcohol vapor. The vapor creates a thin layer of cloud over the cold surface, which is our detector. Let's make it, then I'll explain later. I've never made it before, but I know how it works, okay? So hopefully it won't fail badly. I've seen other YouTubers use dry ice to create the super cold they need. But for my cold surface, I'll be using my Peltier device cold surface I made in my previous video. Why did you think I make it? For a fridge? No, I like particles and radiations and... Hello, FBI agent?
What?
This is for educational purposes only.
Is it now?
Yeah, just watch to the end of the video before swatting my house.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay. Oh, by the way, do you SWAT Canadian residents too?
We do.
The problem I have with this is that with my inefficient fan cooling system, I can only cool the surface down to 5 to 3 degrees Celsius, while according to Wikipedia, I need cooler than minus 26 degrees. See, when we apply a DC voltage across a Peltier device, which is this white piece attached to the heatsink, it creates a temperature difference between its two surfaces up to like 60 degrees Celsius. Now if we cool down the hot surface, with the same temperature difference between the two surfaces, the cold surface can be freezing. But with my fan, I can only cool the hot surface to around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and so the cold surface comes close to zero. But I have a plan. I'll create a container filled with water and put the heatsink in it and freeze the water. With the ice water at 0 degrees, my surface could go down to minus 50 degrees, hopefully. I create the container using this wooden panel, which should also help with thermal insulation. I don't want to make a sawdust mess in my room again. I wonder if I can cut it with my knife. Are you getting nervous for me cutting towards my finger? You should. You must never cut towards your body parts. Slap like on this video if you agree.
Approved.
Let's see if cutting it with a knife helped at all. Nope. I have to use a saw. Now we just hot glue these pieces together. Then I'll fully cover inside of this box with silicone to make sure the wood doesn't warp or damage with water. Now I will make a clear container using plexiglass. Epic! Beautiful. Now I'll glue them together using some 2-part epoxy. I did bad glue job. The surface is dirty with glue. Never remove the protective layer until the glue is dry. Maybe I can clean it a bit better after the glue dries. For now, let's silicone. I add more silicone around the whole thing to insulate it better from the outside world. And also put some silicone on the edge of the surface. And then I add some soap to the edge of the glass so it doesn't stick to the silicone. And then I push the glass on top of the silicone and let it dry. The silicone should provide a good seal to prevent the air from escaping. Now we peel this off. Not bad, but I don't know if this seal was necessary. Now I'll fill this container with water and put the whole thing in freezer to freeze while I'm working on the glass. Now we cut some sponge in half And we want to glue these inside our container right here. These sponges will be soaked in alcohol and act like alcohol container. But before we glue our sponges in there, we cut them open at the center and sprinkle some resistors in the groove. See, I put 3 1.2 kilo ohm resistors in series and I'll place them in this cut I made in the foam. And I'll run the system between 24 and 30 volts, and these resistors will create some heat that vaporizes the alcohol. Smash like. Now, I solder the two foams in parallel, and now we hot glue our foams in the glass. I ran out of proper size glue sticks for my hot glue gun. Now we need some light. But the problem is that this string runs on 12 volts. The good thing about these string lights is that you can cut them along these lines and they continue being functional like an earthworm. So we cut two pieces the length we need. Every piece is still functional at 12 volts. Now we just solder them in series and they'll work at 24 volts. And now we glue our lights to the side of the glass right at the bottom like this. Now when we turn on the light, it will illuminate the mist created on the cold surface. Oh man, what the f happened here? Why is it peeled off? Did water get under there and ice up, or did the whole thing contract? Damn it, look at this. It pushed my module up, it's all ice. Damn it. Look at all the ice under these modules. Oh, I tried to fix it. Let's put it back in the fridge as is and see if it works. Otherwise, I'll have to do dry ice. Okay, now that we are waiting for the big one to freeze, I froze my single module in water, and let's see if it can actually go that low of a temperature. I will run it at 10 volts, which I want to do for the big module, and the temperature reading here is in degrees Celsius, which is 0 right now. Let's power it up. Look at it go. Well, it's cooler than minus 26 that we need, and it's probably colder. My thermocouple is not making a good contact. Let's go to maximum 12 volt. Well, that didn't make much of a difference. Well, the result is not super promising. It's kind of marginal, especially with my bigger broken plate. As soon as the water melts and heats up, the temperature rises too, so I have only a few minutes. Especially when the ice melts around the heatsink, it makes a good insulator to the ice and its temperature rises, and you see that the temperature doesn't fall as low as we expect it to. Not nice. Well, whatever, let's try it. I'll soak the foams in alcohol, power it up, and now we wait. I created the mist. It's detecting nothing though. Not a single particle is passing through my detector. Or maybe it's because it's not cold enough. Or maybe I'm blind. Oh, I saw something. Oh, there it is. I saw it. Oh yeah, there, I saw it. Hey, FBI man, do you see it?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll still SWAT though.
I can see them. They are so dim, but I can see them. I bet it would work better if it was cooler. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. Wow, that was big. See, there are 3 particles, alpha, beta, and gamma, and the biggest ones, look at that, which are 2 protons and 2 neutrons. That's the heaviest part. These particles come from nuclear reactions and radiations from material around us and from space, sun, and cosmos, and they are ionizing, so they could cause cancer. Shouldn't be smiling for that. Well, their natural amount is so small they wouldn't cause a problem unless you're exposed to much more levels of radiation that would break your DNA and cause cancer. When those particles pass through the alcohol vapor, they excite the vapor molecules. The molecules stick together and condense into a much thicker cloud that we can see. Okay, let's try again. This time I refroze the water with some salt in it, so hopefully it can stay colder longer. And now we wait. I can see the mist clearly. Seems it takes so long to start detecting something. There, that was it. I want to try something. I've heard bananas are radioactive, so maybe they provide more alpha particles? I don't see much of a difference. Good, so we can conclude that bananas are safe to eat. We know that smoke detectors contain dangerous radioactive material. Let's see if they affect our reading at all. The sensor might be quite shielded though. Let's see. Well, too bad. They might have shielded it pretty well, so I can't see anything there either. But if we were to take the radioactive stuff out of it, you would clearly see the lines jumping out of it. Well, it definitely works, although my cooling surface is it doesn't get super cold and is broken. But it's another success story in my books. With a proper cooling system and something to cycle alcohol, this would work phenomenally. I guess exactly like the commercial ones they sell out there. Well, I was curious if I could build it, and I did. I love curiosity. Curiosity Stream is the first streaming service for documentary.
Oh, now you care.
There is no one with you in the room.
I guess not. With over 2,400 documentaries and non-fiction titles, including exclusive originals founded by John Hendrick, the founder of Discovery Channel. Their documentaries are available worldwide on many different platforms, made by some of the best filmmakers, featuring some of the greatest scientists.
I bet you don't know any of them.
I know Stephen Hawking. You can get full access starting at less than $3 a month. But using my link, you also get the first 31 days free, in which you can watch tons of videos. I was just watching a series called Human Limits that shows how much humans can push their limits physically and mentally and do incredible things. Mind-blowing stuff. Use my link to watch it.